Brett Smith again, designed quarterback run play, and Smith gonna take it for 6. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Brett Smith burst onto the college football scene in 2011, having an impact on Wyoming and making them a winner from his first snap under center. But before he became a star quarterback for the Cowboys, there was a friendship when he was a freshman in high school that shaped him and the way he plays today. A senior on his West Salem team named Landon became Brett's on-field role model.
I really looked up to him. You know, he was really my first friend when I got there, which is weird because, you know, something that meant a lot to me and I really tried to incorporate in my life was the fact that, you know, he was a senior and I was a freshman, and the fact that he was my first friend there. To me, I think that's really special because that's not common.
That unique friendship was cut short on July 11th, 2009.
The accident happened in the morning, and I vividly remember pulling into our driveway, and I had gotten a text message saying that Landon was killed earlier that day, and I just sort of blurted it out, you know, to the car, and I remember Brett just sort of saying something like, "No way."
It's really tough to explain the feeling, but I just remember initially it was complete shock because I had seen him just a couple days before. And then, you know, as the hours kind of progressed throughout the night, then it just turned into grief, sadness.
Brett didn't talk much. I didn't want to bother him because I can't imagine losing a friend. So, you know, that's really all I recall of the night it happened.
It was at the funeral when I actually saw him and realized that's not him. All those times I'd hung out with him, all the times I'd thrown the football with him, all the times I'd talked with him, it was like all that was gone. And at that moment I had realized it was real and I was never going to see him again.
Brett still had to find a way to get on with his life while honoring the memory of Landon. He was able to let out all his feelings of sadness, anger, and confusion in the place he was most comfortable, on the football field.
Brett internalized a lot of it, except on Friday night. It came out in several different ways. Brett began to wear, you know, his eye black, and he would, you know, LTK, number 40, and then this sort of came out of that.
A tribute was born.
Smith keeps it himself, first down and more. Makes a move, Brett Smith spins, gets into the end zone. Touchdown, 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 Cowboys.
I go into every game thinking about him. So as I'm going through each play and each game, and I just figured one time when I scored, he was still in my mind. And I don't know, I just threw it up. It was kind of instinctive.
Landon's tribute didn't stop in West Salem, Oregon. It made its way to college football's biggest stage. The entire country got to see Brett honor Landon as he threw a pair of touchdowns against 9th-ranked Nebraska.
Brett had, you know, had an opportunity to throw a couple touchdowns in that game, and you know, he flashed the 40 after each touchdown, and I had seen Art Kinsey the following Friday at a West Salem football game, and he came up to me and he kind of grabbed my arm, and he said, "I can't tell you how much that meant to the family to watch Brett's tribute."
It's my boy, man. I feel like he did so much for me, and I feel like a big reason why I'm where I am today is because of him, you know. I can't tell you like how much he meant to me on and off the field, that, you know, here's a guy that would have loved to have played college football, and, you know, I feel like I'm not only living out my dream, but hopefully carrying out his as well. And it's not just me out there, I take him out there on the field with me every game.
Brett has definitely used, Landon's, tragedy, his friendship, but the tragedy as well, in a positive way. Landon Kinsey and that inspiration and that spirit is alive and well in Fort Collins, in Laramie, in Boise, and in Texas. Wherever you see that 40 flash, that's Landon Kinsey.
If you could talk to Landon right now or just have a conversation with him, what do you think he's thinking when he sees you throwing up the 4-0?
I hope he's happy. I hope I'm able to make him happy. I know he'd be proud, because he told me since my freshman year that I was gonna be playing longer. I think he'd just be happy and proud, and I think he'd really enjoy this.
Powerful story. Thank you very much, Brett, for that. It's great to see a guy like Brett Smith with so much maturity to remember a friend as he moves on in his career like that.
Brett Smith is a great player. It was so much fun to watch him as a freshman this year, and the sky's the limit for this kid as his career moves on in Wyoming.